All right, let's get right into it. For a long, long time, the big question was always, what is AI? But you know what? We're past that now. The real question, the one that's going to define the next wave of great companies, is how do we build our entire business with AI at the absolute center of it? So today, we're going to break down the blueprint for exactly how to do that. This quote right here, this says everything. We have got to stop thinking about AI as some cool add-on, a little checkbox on a feature list. The companies that are going to win and win big are the ones that get this deep in their bones. AI isn't just part of the product, it is the product. It is a massive fundamental shift in mindset.
And this slide just nails the difference. Over on the left, you've got the old world, software as a service, or SaaS, where AI is kind of bolted on after the fact. But on the right, that's the new blueprint, model as a service, or MaaS, where the AI model is the engine itself. It's really the difference between a car that you plug a GPS into and a true self-driving vehicle that was designed from the ground up to be autonomous.
So how do we actually build this AI native company? Well, it's not magic, right? It's a strategy, and it's built on 3 core pillars. We're going to walk through every single one. First, we'll build the foundation with the intelligence backbone. Then we'll talk about reimagining our products with something called the 3D decision framework. And finally, we'll figure out how to capture all that value with the economic engine. Okay, let's get into our first pillar. This is all about building that core infrastructure. I mean, you can't build a skyscraper on a weak foundation, and you absolutely cannot build an AI-native company without a rock-solid intelligence backbone.
What a perfect metaphor, right? The central nervous system. This isn't just about servers and databases, it's about creating a living system that connects every single part of your organization. It lets data and insights flow everywhere, instantly, so that every team can think and act with the full power of AI behind them.
And the first piece of that nervous system is what we call the unified data fabric. For way too long, companies have had their most valuable asset, their data, locked up in all these scattered, siloed databases. The goal here is simple but powerful. Create a single, easy-to-access source of truth where all your data is clean, labeled, and totally AI-ready. Because let's be honest, without AI-ready data, your AI projects are pretty much dead in the water.
So, once you have the data, you need the tools. And this is not about every team reinventing the wheel. A shared infrastructure means having one centralized set of tools, modular AI primitives. Think of them like Lego blocks for prediction or generation, that any team can just plug into their product. And you need a dedicated strike team for rapid prototyping. The whole point is to build for speed, scale, and consistency across the board.
All right, with that foundation in place, we can move on to Pillar 2. The 3D decision framework. Now this is where we get really strategic. This framework forces every single product team to ask a tough question. Are we just sprinkling a little AI on top of what we already have? Or are we fundamentally reimagining what our product can even do?
Now this is where it gets really cool. Check out this transformation. First up, decision intelligence. We're moving from just showing users a dashboard of data to actually prescribing the next best action. So think of a logistics system that doesn't just warn you about a storm, it's already rerouted your shipments automatically. Next, dynamic personalization. We go from offering these static product bundles to creating a totally unique segment of one for every single user in real time. And third, digital operations. We use AI to just wipe out complex manual work like figuring out a company's entire workforce schedule in a matter of seconds.
Okay, so we've built the foundation. And we've reimagined our products. But, and this is a big but, none of that matters if we can't actually capture the value we're creating. And that brings us to our final and maybe most critical pillar, the economic engine.
So here it is, the core idea. We have to completely change how we charge for our products. We need to get away from simple utility-based pricing, paying per user per month, and make a big shift to impact-based pricing. The customer pays for the results the AI delivers.
And this is where you define your North Star. You're not just selling software anymore. You are selling a tangible, measurable outcome. You're not selling a tool, you're selling an 80% reduction in manual effort. That is a completely different and way more powerful conversation to have with your customers.
This is what we call value-based pricing. It's so simple, yet so revolutionary. You tie your price directly to the customer's return on investment. If your AI helps a farmer increase their crop yield by 5%, your price should reflect a piece of that new value you just created.
It's a game changer because it means your success is literally tied to your customer's success.
And here is the secret sauce, the magic that makes this entire engine run, the intelligence feedback loop. Every single time a user interacts with your product, whether they accept a recommendation or reject a suggestion, they are actively making your AI smarter. Each click, each choice is fresh training data that feeds back into the model, making it better and better in a never-ending cycle.
This self-improving loop creates something powerful, what we call a data moat. The more your product gets used, the smarter it becomes, and the more value it delivers. This makes it incredibly, almost impossibly difficult for competitors to catch up. Why? Because they don't have your users' unique interaction data. Your customers are literally helping you build an unbeatable competitive advantage every single day.
So that's the blueprint. But, just having the map isn't the same as actually making the journey. So let's make this real for you. For your own strategy, really think about this. If you were to build this intelligence backbone, where would you even start? Which business unit, which team would give you the quickest win to build that early momentum you need for a huge transformation like this?
And look, putting a blueprint like this into practice, it takes a whole new set of skills. As you can see from this AI PM curriculum, mastering these pillars is becoming a core part of the journey for any product leader who wants to stay relevant. If you want to go even deeper on strategies just like this, for AI, digital transformation, and product leadership, I highly recommend joining the AI Product Management Playbook. It is an absolutely incredible resource for VPs, directors, and anyone aspiring to be an AI PM. You can subscribe directly on LinkedIn. Thanks for tuning in.